What's up, you guys? Today I'm going to be using the ring push-up to strengthen the weak external rotators in my shoulder. Let me give you an example of how weak external rotators affect performance. So right now I am not warmed up. This is what my ring push-up looks like. I just came outside. Right shoulder is starting to get unstable and sore. Okay, once again, right here, that's where, if I were to go lower, I guess I could go lower, but that would just be unnecessary wear and tear on the system. I could even be working my way towards an injury. So a real simple fix is for me to take a mini band like this, just about a medium tension mini band. And I like to use the rings, obviously, because the band pulls my arms inward on the ring. So I have to fire the horizontal shoulder abductors as well as some of the external rotators. And when I fire those muscles, when they're activated by this mini band, I can now enter a deeper range of motion, still a little tentative, but it's not uncomfortable, because with my external rotators firing and balancing the tension that's entering my shoulder joint, I'm able to just get a slightly better range of motion. And when I'm doing this type of, we'll call it rehab work, I'm not going to get real tired, and I'm only going to work in the range of motion that's easy for me to get into and it's easy for me to get out of. If you're brand new to push-ups, or you're returning to them, either just it's been a long time or you're coming back from an illness or an injury, that might be a good approach for your push-ups as well. Only work within the range of motion that's easy to get into, easy to get out of, and only do the repetitions that are easy to do. Don't get tired on anything, because if you do that, you'll recover quickly, like I just did, and I can now go back for another set. So once again, gonna just set myself here. I'm focusing more on stretching the bands and seeing, I'm shaking, but it doesn't hurt. You can feel I'm activating some muscles that have been dormant for a while. They're not really used to working in this capacity. So the shaking is good as long as it doesn't hurt. And once again, I'm just gonna go one more time. And then coming back out. None of those were difficult. They were challenging. I had to focus on what I was doing, but it wasn't unpleasant for me to do that. It certainly wasn't traumatic. Once again, if you're new to this or you're returning to this, I'm using rings, but if right now just a regular push-up gives you a lot of trouble, yes, you can do them on your knees, but if you want to work your way towards a full regular push-up, just work in the range that's easy for you to get into, easy to get out of, and only do the easy reps for several sets, okay? Don't get stuck on 3 sets of 10, especially if you can't do 10. All right, so once again, I'm just talking to you on the breaks. I've recovered. Once again, coming back for another set. It might look like I'm coasting on these bands. It is not a free ride, because if the muscles that this band is pulling inwards on my wrist. So yes, in a way, I'm kind of using the elasticity of the band to get me down here. But those muscles in the shoulders, the abductors, the external rotators, they still have to keep the upper arm as well as the forearm stable on that. Okay, so I've done about 3 sets. Obviously that's a push movement. So I've got a pull-up bar up here. Might be out of frame, but I'm just gonna hang on it. I'm not gonna do any pull-ups right now. Just gonna hang. Breathe. Just resting. Yeah, so for the next 25 days, the workouts I'm going to be posting, they're not going to be that exciting in terms of heavy weight or really dramatic shit. It's going to be more this kind of stuff because, you know, I want to be honest with you guys. I don't want to just make it look like I'm this super strong whatever you see me doing on Instagram. That's fun to do, but over the last 4 years, I've kind of just been wearing myself down. And this is what I'm having to do now to just allow my body to recover. So hopefully in a month, maybe more, I can return to some heavy movements, but do them with more authenticity and enthusiasm rather than just trying to survive just so I can post something to Instagram that's exciting. So I'm hoping that the concepts and the content that I'll be offering up right now is going to be more helpful than exciting. Okay. All right. So I've warmed up with about 4 sets with the green. I'm going to move into this slightly heavier black band. This kind of reminds me of my buddy Mark Bell sent me his amazing device, the slingshot, that's used for bench press, and it kind of feels like using that. So obviously this is just for me to hold this position. I'm having to fire a lot of muscles in the back of my shoulders, and then I'm going to see if we can get down here. Whoa, it's not so much struggling to do the push-up anymore, it's trying to get, oh, wow. It's trying to stretch the band to get down. All right. So I 2 repetitions of that. That was pretty tiring for me. So once again, I don't want to get too tired on any of these sets that I do. So I'm just gonna cap it at 2, get a little recovery. I think I'm gonna hang one more time. No pull-ups, just hanging. If you can't do pull-ups right now, don't worry. Most of the benefit you get from pull-ups just comes from you being able to hang. Get really good at hanging. And then you can worry about pull-ups later. And on that set of hanging, I didn't get too worked up either. I just hung until my grip told me it doesn't want to hold me anymore, and we're good with that. Okay, so once again, this band is heavy. Now, focus once again is going to be on putting the stretch on this band, using the ring push-up to try to do that. All right, here we go. Okay. That repetition was heavy. I'm just going to do one. No point in doing another one. As much as I can, I like to take a primary exercise, a row, ring push-up, just what looks like a normal heavy exercise, and somehow make it into an exercise that works an area where I am weak. I know all of these exercises with isolated bands, those are good, but if I'm being honest, those kind of bore the shit out of me, and I can't really put my heart into them. And I find that if I do something like this, I can really activate my external rotators and other musculature as an integrated system with a movement that makes sense to me, and I just get a much better effect if my heart is into it. Okay, so the emphasis once again is on putting the stretch on this band and seeing how far I can get into this push-up while stretching. Oh, and that's rapidly overwhelmed. Not my chest muscles, but all of these muscles. Okay. But what's nice about doing that is now when I go back to the green band, wow. So that band, and well, this whole thing, a lot of the external rotators are back here, and when they're integrated with a lot of the shoulder retractors and the other muscles in the back of the shoulders and the upper back, they really they have a very powerful effect. I was gonna hang, but I think I'm going to do one more here. Back to the green band. So after I activate all of that external rotator, this thing's rolling on me. After I activate all that external rotator musculature with that heavy black, come back to the green band. Now my muscles are redundantly prepared, and let's see if we can get a slightly deeper let's go for one more. Emphasis is on stretching the band. As I do so, it fires those external rotators very hard. Feels good. Okay, one more hang just to decompress the shoulders, and we're gonna go inside and enjoy Sunday evening. All right. Little shoulder activation, just pulling myself to a height that's comfortable for me to go to. I can symmetrically control the movement. Come back into the stretch. It just allows me to stretch a little bit better. And we're done. Okay. If you're still here, I appreciate you very much. Much love and aloha. Bye.